This is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN.Network, and we are a proud media sponsor for the upcoming Precious Metals Summit Beaver Creek, which is being held virtually this year. Joining me right now is Paul Andre Huet. He is the chairman and CEO of Karora Resources. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is KRR on the TSX. Paul, thank you for joining me today. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Robert. How are you today? You're in Beaver Creek, it looks like.
You know, it's been the same weather every day for the last 2 months. I really have no idea why, but
yeah,
you know, we'll figure it out one way or another. Either way, Paul, let's dig right in, and no pun intended. Let's get a little quick overview and history on Karora Resources.
Sure. So Karora Resources was just renamed. Actually, it was Royal Nickel. We transformed the company. We made some big changes in the last 12 months, actually redirecting the focus of the company on gold. So today we're 100,000 ounces a year after buying a significant second asset in Western Australia last year. So we've really transformed the company from a nickel company to a gold company, producing 100,000 ounces a year in its first year in inception this year.
All right. So what inspired, just to quickly follow up there, what inspired the change from going from nickel to gold and adding this asset in Western Australia?
So look, the company, when it was originally formed, Robert, had a nickel asset in Canada, in Quebec. I'm from Northern Ontario, so I'm very familiar with Canada. Through the years and as time progressed and nickel struggled, the company had to divest a big portion of that asset. So when I joined the company, we had only owned 28% of it. So it's hard to have a strategic asset and a cornerstone asset only owning 28%. Whereas on the other hand, we owned 100% of a very great exploration project, which is the Beta Hunt mine. So there was no doubt that focusing on Beta Hunt and building from that 100% owned asset, which was gold, was the right focus for us. And we put together a strategy. We were focusing on new shareholders, which we've done. We're focusing on changing the board, the executive team, the operating team. And again, today we're at 100,000 ounces a year with driving costs down. So while gold is going up, we're still driving costs down quarter after quarter. 4 consecutive quarters since we've owned the mill, we have dropped our all-in sustaining costs. We're trending towards $1,000 US, which is something we're certainly going to accomplish.
All right. So then what would you say makes this project in Western Australia? Because that's really the main focus, it sounds like now. What would you say makes that project unique and different compared to some of your peers out there?
Yeah, so look, first and foremost, people. Any asset in the world requires a good, solid team. It doesn't matter where you're located. I've seen some great assets that were improperly managed that have fallen apart. But I've seen some mediocre assets that have done phenomenal with a strong team. We've assembled a very, very strong team, right from the board to the executive team to the operating team. And that team is a very unique team. And then the location of the assets. In Western Australia, as we know, it's on Fraser's list, the #1 place to mine in the world. So growing from that standpoint is really critical for us. And look, we've really set the foundation now. By acquiring Higginsville in July of last year, we've set ourselves up to become that gold producer and focus on reducing the cost by eliminating a lot of royalties. So when I first took over as chairman and CEO, there were some very significant royalties, some very onerous royalties. One of them, Morgan Stanley, we managed in 2 separate phases, phase 1 and phase 2, to eliminate all the NSRs of the Morgan Stanley royalty. Now, Robert, what's very unique is this is an 1,800 square kilometer district that has had no drilling for almost more than a decade here now. We're going to spend $10 million this year alone in an area that last year had $300,000 of spending. The second one is the Mavericks royalty. We had a Mavericks royalty on our Beta Hunt mine, Robert. We reduced that by 37%, almost 40%. And let me tell you, it's not easy to buy a royalty from a royalty company. their goal is to increase royalties and to buy royalties. So for us to buy it from a royalty company, that was a lot of work. I'm very happy that we came to an agreement with Mavericks together. We see the value for both shareholders, and now we have the foundation set in this district now. Now it's about the growth and seeing what we can unlock with the drill bit and growing our company.
All right. Well, before I follow up on that question, because that's certainly coming. What's your background? You know, what brought you to the Royal Nickel and now Karora Resources story?
Yeah. So look, as I mentioned earlier, from Northern Ontario, from Timmins, been in mining for a little over 33 years now. Unfortunately, while I grew up in Timmins, I was one of those bad hockey players. So I ended up working in a mine at 18 years old, and I loved it. I enjoyed it a lot. I worked through and progressed through the ranks, finding myself going to mining school, Hillerberry School of Mines, at the age of 29 after being underground for a little over 11 years. So I got an engineering degree and then progressed my career. So with over 30 years of underground mining between Canada and the US, when Beta Hunt had a massive coarse gold discovery, Robert, one of the large shareholders contacted me and asked me if I would join this board to represent their shareholdings. It was a good fit between me and the team, and I ended up joining as a director, which evolved to chairman, which evolved to chairman and CEO. So it's been a little over a year. It's been exciting, and there's a lot more excitement to come, I can tell you that.
So 33 years in the industry. So you're telling me you're still early in your career. Is that's what you're trying to say, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt I got a couple of years left in me. That's for sure. At 52, I think I can keep going. You know, I started at 18. I'm far from done yet.
From what you can tell us, what would you say are some of the company's value catalysts now for the rest of this year going into 2021?
So one of the things that's going to be really important for us is to continue doing what we've been doing, and that's deliver. We cannot afford to fumble the ball on delivering on our promises. We've had a very strong success with this team of executing on the things we said we would do, on focusing on reducing costs and how we said we would do it, on focusing on improving productivities, on delivering our quarterly ounces. You know, the whole world is in a struggle and in a panic with COVID. We're no different there. We faced fires in the fourth quarter of 2019. They were followed by floods in January. February comes along, we have COVID, and yet we're still managing to deliver on our promises and our production. Despite the challenges with COVID and every other natural disaster, our team has successfully been able to, again, 4 quarters in a row consecutively, reduce costs, deliver our production profile. At this point, with the foundation laid out in front of us, it's about demonstrating what we can do to grow this company at this point. And there's certainly that type of opportunity within the district that we own.
Well, Paul, it sounds like you're ready for frogs and locusts. So, you know, just be ready, right? You know, I think we all got to get ready for frogs and locusts at this point. Well,
yeah.
Well, Paul, with that, where can our audience go and find everything they need to know to follow along the Karora Resources story?
Oh, it's KRRGD.com. That's our website.
Very good. All right. Well, Paul, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it and indulging my terrible jokes. Good luck. Stay safe. And I look forward to our next update.
All right, Robert. You take care. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Again, my name is Robert Kraft. I'm your host on SNN.Network, and we're a proud media sponsor for the upcoming Precious Metals Summit Beaver Creek, being held virtually this year. Paul will be there giving a presentation on Karora Resources. And thank you all for watching today.